Hello and welcome. It is day 4.
Woohoo!
Exactly. Woohoo is right. Holy cow. It's been quite a week. Hi, I'm Liz Lembke, Chief Talent Navigator and one of your hosts for today, where our topic is social learning, connected and brave, guide on the side and in the mix. And I am joined by my 2 wonderful co-hosts today.
You must be talking about you, Brandon.
I think I put the coin on that one, Jessica. I don't know. We're alive. We're breathing. That's all that counts.
Hey, that's a blessing every day.
Yeah.
See, we have these minimal criteria as we're functioning. All right. So obviously, Brandon Carson, or Clark Kent, as you know, the secret name.
Exactly. Glasses. Superman without the glasses.
Ah.
Like you do.
I would.
I love it too. Awesome. And then Jessica without her bat in the background.
It was a Dyson, not a bat, for anyone who's really wondering. But I did move it.
Very good. And of course, her nickname is the Curse of Competence.
I actually started the nickname trend in this whole L&D Cares world, and then everybody seemed to naturally have one that just bubbled up pretty quickly, which is awesome.
We totally took it. And Tina Bjork is right now in an interview, so she will be joining us later, who is the other co-host for today, and we're excited to have you all here. So we're going to take you through a little bit around kind of the theme of social learning. It used to be a little bit that when we were talking about social learning, it was, the 70-20-10 around, the 20% learning with others, that's like a discussion that we have, etc. But if anything has taught us 2020-2021 is that it seems like this aspect of social learning and how are we in the mix has gotten us a little bit like the movie Cannonball Run. For some of you who may remember, some aspects, I agree, haven't aged well, but this quote is a little bit befitting. Come on, 1,000 miles on one wheel. We're trying to win a race, not set a record. Okay, Shaky Finch. So here, Captain Chaos has definitely been in our lives over the last 12, 13 months. And it's been that aspect of how are we, to keep one of Brandon's words, been scrappy, but also figuring out what can we do and how can we do it. This leaning on each other socially has been a real boon to how we've been able to get through 2020 and how we're entering into 2021. And this is then going to what we want to draw in here as we look to the team is, even if we're looking for a job, even if we are in a job where we're saying, okay, what do I want to do differently? Where do I want to lead my career? Or you're a lone freelancer and missing the beauty of collaboration within a corporate environment. It's this aspect of how are we teaming? And I put off the little periodic table of elements as to, how do you build your team? You find a group of people who challenge and inspire you. You spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life forever, said Amy Poehler, and I couldn't think of a better description of L&D Cares. And Brandon, you also have a good piece on, as we look to these aspects of team care and team development, a little bit of a 5-point plan. Can you take us through that one?
Yeah, the great thing, and I have to admit, we were very fortunate in having Simon Brown yesterday talk about his book, The Curious Advantage. And actually in it, he discusses the importance of being curiosity and how on your team, curiosity will be one of the most critical attributes for your folks to have, as well as yourself as the leader coach, if you will. And so just some of the things for us to think about coming out of 2020. Our CEO at Delta the other day said, so far 2021 is becoming the 13th month of 2020. So we know that we're very optimistic for the second half of this year, but we know we still have some challenges, and we're all going to be facing those as we, as a global community, try to get past this pandemic. And part of what we're doing as leaders in leading through crisis is really caring for our teams and trying to really also build a culture of development amongst ourselves. And so these are just 5 things that our CEO at Delta asked us as leaders to do in caring and developing our teams, because we're going to come out of this, and we don't know yet if it's a century of lots of pandemics or just one pandemic this century. We don't know. And we've learned now that we have to be very flexible and adaptable, but we know that we will turn the corner here. But during this time and even beyond, we have to make sure we care for our people and help our people get through this. And this also applies to our families and our community, not just the folks we work with or, it's the folks we're around all day, but whatever role you play, if it's leader as coach, if it's individual contributor, if it's father, mother, uncle, grandmother, aunt, whatever, make sure that folks around you really understand the role you play in their lives, and that they understand what you're there for. And always be trying to encourage people to learn and to develop themselves. And of course, if it is, people you're working with and leading on a team, let them do their job, let them give them autonomy, and get out of their way and meet with them regularly and connect with them. And that's a lot of what today's about as well, of just building connections and keeping those connections strong, and then make sure that you're helping them with their growth. So just some little team care and development ideas that our CEO shared with us last week.
I love it. And I think, that aspect of, particularly the 4 in terms of meeting with team members regularly to just discuss goals and to check in. This aspect of, social connection and social isolation, or as we're juggling, it's really a cornerstone to how do we get through these things in terms of not only survival, but what could we do actually to thrive? So those aspects of how we connect within this different context is really, really key.
Yeah, Simon does say empower each other. And that self-directed, that's a little bit about today, I guess, is make those strong connections and direct yourself and empower yourself to look to what you should develop it within yourself as well.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. And one thing that we also got from a couple of people when we were doing, for example, we were beta testing with the flock assessment. A lot of folks said, "But I don't have a team. I'm not a leader on a team." And this is where, if you think about it, and Brandon mentioned this as well, is like this can be for your friends, your family, as you consider to think about it. It's you are interacting in teams all the time. It's always a question of, is that the nomenclature? And here, in this piece of social learning, and Suzanne Mulder talked about it as well, is how are we growing? What are we doing to challenge ourselves? And joining in groups such as L&D Cares is a great way to socially learn and to challenge oneself, particularly if we've grown up and we've been in an organization for a while. It's that aspect of what am I doing for my own learning? And this environment and this year has really kind of fostered this aspect of, how can we get involved? What can we do? And kudos to Brandon and his dining room table to saying, okay, what can we do to support others during this pandemic? And then here where we had this piece to say, how do we get a network of people established quickly from different communities working together in a shared conversation space in which they plan, commit to, and execute actions to fulfill a large urgent mission. And this also is really what we're trying to do here with this L&D Cares Career Growth and the Career Growth Summit is how can we together change the conversation and change the experience so that career growth is actually something that's not soul-sucking, but actually is something that we want to enjoy and will enjoy. So here are all of our active involvement and just you all being here and attending this summit, giving your input, giving your insights and learning together. Awesome. And this will help continue us as we carry forward and ask what do we want to do differently, what can we change up, what can we mix up as we continue down this path of supporting and helping one another.
I'm going to have to share that hastily formed network slide with, I have a neighbor, I live 2 miles from the main campus of the CDC, so a bunch of my neighbors work for CDC, and she is a senior role and is moving into a more senior role next month, so I'm going to have to, she's like, we are just, everybody's leading without authority right now, like everybody's pitching it, and I was like, if we ever think our jobs are crazy, I can't even imagine what it's like to work there and have any job right now.
So true, so true. And it's that aspect of, here this scrappiness of, there's no leader, but it's at the same time, kind of what is that intention-based leadership of, we all know what our mission is or what we're moving towards, and different verve and energy that gets behind it. Yeah. So, and that's what we're doing here. So it's that piece to say, okay, what can we do to co-create a better path forward? This is day 4. You guys know our Venn diagram of all of us getting together. So again, each of these groups will be contributing today as we look to that aspect of here our social learning, what can we do, and how are we connected? So really today is about that social belonging, collaboration, and really creating those safe and brave spaces to explore and to learn and to gain insights with each other. So with that, we are the honeycomb. Because the future of learning is fluid, dynamic, adaptable, immersive, personalized, and engaging. It's all about the richness of the experience, curricular and extracurricular, social and individual, global and local, active and reflective, cognitive and emotional, professional and personal, physical and digital, supported by research and teaching excellence. While this mode of learning has long been in our future, the COVID-19 pandemic has made the transition more urgent. It has shown us that universities must embrace liquid modernity so that they can not only meet any crisis that arises, but also prepare students for varied careers over their long working lives. So this was from Nick Van Dam and Naomi Lepert in their Future of Education, Everything is Liquid. And I believe this is really, it doesn't, this was about education, but it's really about us all within learning that, this piece is, it's not about the knowledge work. It's also about how are we critically thinking? How are we building upon others' ideas? So those 21st century competencies are what we're going to be looking at. How can we foster that really within our social context, and how we learn that it isn't one and done of, oh, thank goodness I got my degree, I never have to do it again. It's that aspect of how are we continuing to learn for our own, not only for our future employability, but also, Heather McGowan talks about this as well. It's this, how are we prepared for those varied careers over our long working lives, and exactly what Brandon touched upon when he was talking about the L&D playbook. So, with that, today we're really going to be looking at those aspects of interdependence. Learning is social and connected, and how can we foster it? So we're going to be talking a lot about social learning networks, running hybrid events, looking at, how are we participating, what are we doing? And then this evening or this afternoon, we're going to be doing socially network focused, and you guys just know that that is code word and code speak for fun and games.
Looking forward to that. Strong and fun.
Exactly. I love it. So, and now you know it, the final question that we always ask before we kick off, that everyone just takes a moment for themselves to prime and say, okay, what do you want to learn? What do you want to experience today on the 4th day of the L&D Cares Career Growth Summit? And with that, we wish you a great morning, a wonderful day, and we will see you very soon.
One quickie, Happy Lunar New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year, exactly.
It's the year of the metal ox, and I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that means either, but I'm going to take that as a good sign. I think it's a good one.
I mean, they're strong, they're robust.
Yeah, right? That'll set the stage for us. Enjoy the day.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everyone. See you in a bit.